Hi friends, it's Leslie from PlaydatesParties.com, and today I'm going to share with you how I made this adorable ice cream sign for my daughter's birthday party. Now, she has been talking for a while about wanting to become a flavor maker, and so I took that inspiration and I decided to do a make your own ice cream activity at her party. And just to make it feel extra special, we decided to take their Ikea chalkboard easel and turn it into a little bistro sign that tells everybody they're going to be making their own flavor of ice cream and becoming flavor makers at the party. I really love the way this turned out, and I can't wait to show you how to do it. So let's get started. So before we get started, I'm actually going to measure the width and height of my frame, because I need to know exactly how tall and how wide it is to make sure that all my elements fit it perfectly. You can use whatever you have on hand, a tape measure, a ruler. I'm using this quilting mat because it's just what I had available. Now, when you open up this folder, you're going to see lots of different files. You've got the file with all the instructions. There's the lettering for the sign, the ice cream cone, and then I included a few different options: ice cream bowl, popsicle, triple scoop ice cream, and soft served ice cream. These are all PNG files that you can print and cut to add a little bit more pizzazz to your sign if you'd like. Now, we're gonna start with the stacked ice cream cone. So let's run over to Cricut Design Space real fast. I'm here in Cricut Design Space and I'm in a new project. So I'm gonna go to Upload, Upload Image, Browse. Now it's gonna go over to my Downloads folder because I've done this a couple times, but you just need to get to the folder where you're keeping the file. And you're going to use stacked ice cream cone for this. Now this is going to be the one that is lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of scoops of ice cream all the way up the side of the sign. But we're going to customize this so you can see that you can change this to be as big or as small as you'd like. So let's say you want to make it a smaller sign, maybe an 8x10 sign. You can do fewer scoops of ice cream, and this way you're not having to delete a bunch of pieces. We're going to import this, and this is an SVG file, so we're gonna just go ahead and save, click on it, insert the image. And there you see it's right there, but we need to ungroup everything. Because what I need to do now is I need to go through, and you're going to need to take all of these little squiggly lines, and they're gonna be changed to draws. So that's a draw, and it changes. Let's see, I'm gonna undo. I wanna show that to you again real fast. So this, it's currently a cut, and the color right now is set to purple. Now that's the color I used for my daughter's party. When we did this, was the purple squiggly line and a blue, kind of a teal blue ice cream. But when you change it to draw, it changes it to a black line. I think this time I'm actually going to keep it black though, so I think that'll just be a little bit easier not having to switch between different ice cream cones, or between different ice creams. So with each of those, you're going to also, once you select it, you've changed it to draw, then you select the ice cream that goes with it and just attach. And then just, whoops. Then just keep going, draw and attach, draw, draw and attach. And then again, you need to do, this is going to be changed to a draw, and then attach it to the cone. Now, as you noticed from the first photos, this isn't exactly what we got on the sign. So what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to move this over. I'm going to select all of these, and I'm going to duplicate them 2 more times, because I have, for my sign, I know that I need about 2 feet. So And it's going to take 3 sets of 3. It's going to take 9 ice cream scoops to get all the way up that side. And once I have those duplicated, I'm ready to make it. Now you can duplicate it as many times as you need for your sign. The reason I kept only 3 is so that you wouldn't have to sit there and switch a dozen different lines to draw and attaching. So this way you've got the 3 main colors. You change the colors to whatever you want them to be, and then you duplicate to the point where you've got it the way you need it. So let's go ahead and make this. Okay, now, if you'll notice, I've only got 3 per mat, 3 of the pink ice cream pieces per mat, but I need 2 of these because I've got 2 sides to my sign. So I'm actually going to increase it to 2 copies and apply that. And if you've got 12 by 12 paper, you're good to go, but unfortunately, right now, all I've got is 8.5 by 11, so I'm going to use 8.5 by 11, and darn, that's going to be 2 sheets. It's best if you have if you have 12 by 12 because you're going to waste less paper, but in this case, all I have is 8.5 by 11. Okay, so now I see I've got 7 mats. So I'm going to need 2 pink, 1 of the brown, 2 blue, and 2 purple. But I think we're good to go. For all the drawn portions of today's project, I'm going to be using the Cricut black fine point pen in size 0.4. And since I'm using a maker, I'm going to load the pen in clamp A, the fine point blade in clamp B, and then load the mat and get started. When the machine finishes cutting, you'll want to give the ink a few minutes to dry on your paper before unloading your mat and separating the pieces. Then you'll be ready to move on to assembling the ice cream cone. In order to make sure that this is the right height for my project, I've actually got this quilting mat that I'm going to use, and it goes all the way up to about 24 inches. And I am just going to use this just to make sure that I get my ice cream cone to the right height. So I'm going to start here at the bottom. And then, to make sure everything is spaced evenly, I'm going to place all my ice cream scoops along the mat before gluing anything together. Once you're happy with the position of all the ice cream scoops, apply a small bead of hot glue to the very top of the ice cream cone and attach the first ice cream scoop to it. From there, just add a little bit of hot glue to the top of each ice cream scoop to connect all the scoops together. When you're all done, you'll end up with one giant ice cream cone. Then you just repeat with the rest of your cutouts to create a second ice cream cone just like it. Now we're going to go in and we're going to work on the Flavormaker Academy lettering. Go back. Now I'm just going to, in this case, I am just going to add this to my existing document. Upload. There we go. Now this is practically ready to go. And you can change this, you can do these in whatever colors you want. But these, I like these colors. This works for me. I'm gonna keep this same difference in the color. So the Flavormaker Academy is going to be in one color, and then the Create Your Own Unique is going to be in another color. Now see, because I don't want to have to mess with any of this stuff, I'm going to take, here, we're gonna ungroup this. So you're gonna ungroup it and select that and attach. And the same with up top, attach. Now you'll see I've got the settings at 11.5 inches wide. That is the widest you can go on a 12 by 12 mat. Now if you want to make it bigger, just remember, like, you can make it bigger. You can resize it to whatever size you want, right? If you have a small frame, you can resize it that way. Bigger frame can be bigger. Our frame is big enough to go bigger than this, but I'm working with smaller pieces of vinyl, so I am going to make sure it's no bigger than 11.5 inches wide. Yep, and 12 by 12, and you see it is exactly the way I need it on both mats. There we go. Now I'm gonna have to go browse materials, and today I'm using holographic vinyl. For this part of the project, I'm going to be using the green standard grip mat to make sure that the vinyl doesn't slip around while it gets cut by the machine. Now I'm going to do my best to keep the side that curls under from sticking to the mat at the bottom, because that's just not good. Now this vinyl, because it comes in a 12 by 12, it's nice and flat, so that's really nice. So much easier. When the vinyl is finished cutting, you're going to go peel back any part of the vinyl that you don't want on your final project. Be careful around things like the script fonts and the small bits. For example, I accidentally removed a couple of the dots to my eyes, but I decided to not worry about it in the long run. When you're done weeding, your vinyl lettering should look something like this. Next, you'll need to cut a piece of transfer paper to fit your lettering. I'm using Duck brand contact paper, but you can use whatever works best for you. When you've cut the transfer tape to size, remove the paper backing and add it to the top of your vinyl. Make sure you press the transfer paper to the vinyl so it adheres well. Once your vinyl is covered with transfer tape, you can set them aside while we print and cut the extra decorations. So back in Cricut Design Space, you're going to hide all the sign elements you've already made and then go upload the PNG file of your choice. Today I'm only going to use the ice cream bowl, but you can use whichever picture you like best. When uploading these print and cut files, you would probably be fine using simple, but I'm going to select complex just to be safe. You can barely see it, but if you look right here, there's these little corner marks, and I've just found that's the easiest way to make sure that other people get the same print and cut result that I do. So we're saving it as a print then cut, save. click on it, insert the image, and you're getting an error every single time. I don't know why. I wish they could do this. So we're just going to change it to 6.75 inches wide. And since we have the proportions locked, this is automatically within the 9.25 inches tall that we need. So we're ready to go. Click Make It, continue. Now we're going to send to printer. This is the printer. I go ahead and add a bleed. It just makes me more comfortable. So we're gonna use that. I do not use the system dialog. Once your image is printed and ready to place on your mat, it's important to make sure you place the print facing the same direction as the mat preview in Cricut Design Space. Otherwise, your cuts will be all wrong. Okay, so you see we've got our little ice cream bowl printed out and cut out by the Cricut, and you see it followed right along those lines on the outside. Now, when I'm unloading this, I want to be very careful with that little cherry stem because it's pretty delicate. So I'm gonna try and keep that attached. It may get a little bent, but we're just gonna do our best. And now see, I'm actually unloading it. I'm kind of turning it so that the cherry stem is last. Okay, and if you look closely, I'm gonna bring it in here. It's kind of hard to see. It did rip a little bit, but that'll be fine. It still looks fine. At least it stayed attached. It's still pretty darn cute. There's more space outside, so that's where I'm going to assemble the sign, and I will meet you out there in just a moment. Now it's time to put all the pieces together. First, we're going to remove the paper backing from the upper group of vinyl lettering where it says Flavormaker Academy, so that it's all on the transfer tape. Take your time, especially with the script letters. They might not want to transfer very easily. Once that's done, you'll place the lettering in the upper center area of your sign and press all those letters down as hard as you can. It can sometimes help to use your fingernail or scraper tool to really get all the little corners attached to your sign. Let's see how we did. Just go nice and slow. Oh, you see some of it's still stuck. Now, if you want to make this easier for yourself, you can clean the frame, clean the chalk off your chalkboard first. But I really wanted to have that chalky background. There we go. Isn't that so much fun? Next, we need to get the rest of the wording on the sign. So let's peel the backing off and see how well I did with this. Okay, we got it off. It doesn't look any worse for the wear, so there we go. Let's place it and rub it onto the sign. Okay, moment of truth. This one's coming off more easily than the other one. Okay. Fantastic. Now that we have all the lettering done, all we need to do is add the accents to the sign so that it really pops and shines. To attach the sign, you're going to take a piece of masking tape or painter's tape, like I have here, and we're going to use that old trick. We're going to use that old trick of doubling the tape over on itself to create a loop. Next, we're going to just find one of those ice cream scoops and stick that tape loop to the back. Do that for several spots on the back of your ice cream scoop, and you'll be ready to go. And then simply press it to the sides of your sign to attach. Then simply repeat with any other accents you have to add to your sign. I have to say, I really love the way this sign turned out. The holographic lettering actually looks great and it really pops on the sign. Of course, the stacked ice cream cones and ice cream bowl accent definitely take it over the top into massive cuteness. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I hope that you enjoy this project too.